Welcome to People in Perspective. Today joining me on People in Perspective is Mr. Tariq Tamir.
Hello.
Alright, first question that I want to ask is, where did you grow up?
Chicago. The mean streets of Chicago. No, not really. I just like to say that. But yeah, Chicago.
And why did you not want to become an artist?
Well, I didn't want to become an artist because in third grade, I learned about Vincent van Gogh for the first time and all the drama about the ear and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? That's not for me. That's not my life. So I didn't really want to pursue art, but art pursued me.
Right.
So, here I am.
And describe your style.
Ooh, my style. Probably the best.
Alright.
Yeah.
And describe his process for making art. Your process.
Ooh, I'm inspired by movies, books, television, but mostly my day-to-day interactions with people I meet, close and not close. I don't like to fight. So sometimes I'll channel that energy into something like a dragon or something else, Yeah.
And why do you love making dragons?
Because I believe dragons are liked by everyone, basically. They're dinosaurs with wings, and they breathe fire, and they're fun. And when you see a dragon, you're like, what? So, and it's always been a fascination of mine. So
how do you make your dragons?
Oh, super easy, barely an inconvenience. I start off with a wire frame, and then I coat that wire frame with lots of paper and tape and other things, and then I'll cover that with more tape, then more paint, and then a lot of zhuzhing.
Alright. And why and how do you use toys to make art?
What was that question?
And why and how do you use toys to make art?
Oh, well, when I was younger, I didn't like the toys that were bought for me. So I would alter them and make them in a way that I thought was pleasing to me. Just because toys in the late 80s were very, stiff. And I guess they still are. I don't know. I haven't been to a toy store in 20 years.
And what type of toys do you use?
Oh, just old toys. You mean like the toys I use in my current art projects?
Yeah.
Just like old toys, things that have no life anymore, and I'll just probably give them some new life, new purpose.
And what's your favorite thing about teaching?
The interaction with these fresh young minds, these young people. They've really inspired me to be a better person. When I first came to Riverside, I had never really worked with small kids, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and that changed me. I was like, hey, I think I need to be a better person for these kids.
And what type of interaction did you have?
With well, they were very trusting and open, and they didn't run for me like everyone else does.
All right. Who gave you the nickname Mr. T?
Oh, the students. About 14 years ago, that's how long I've been teaching at the Riverside Art Center. About 14 years ago, I was given that name because my full name, Tariq Tamir, was hard to pronounce to the youngins in the day. So they were like, Mr. T, and I immediately cringed because I'm like, Mr. T, seriously? That's what you want to call me? So I fought it for about a couple of weeks, and it just stuck. But I spell it with 2 E's because, I'm not trying to get sued. So,
Trying to get sued for what?
Mr. T, the original Mr. T.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, I always thought your name was based off of that.
Most people do. They think, oh, Mr. T, he's like the other Mr. T, but No, we're opposites.
Yeah, but different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I heard that you like to travel. And where do you like to travel?
I used to like to travel, but every time I travel and I come back, I just hate being back so much. It's like, why am I back? I want to be back on vacation. So this became a thing for me, so I just stopped going places.
And what places did you like to travel to?
Oh, any place tropical. I'm not a fan of the cold, but yeah, Puerto Vallarta. Am I saying that right? Mexico, commonplace. Canada.
I also heard that you wanted to travel to the moon. Why is that?
I do. I thank you for reminding me because if I really want to travel, it'd probably be to space. Like, be like, see ya, and out there amongst the stars, you know, doing my thing. Because Earth is great, but I wanted to see other things, other places, other planets.
And where can we find your art?
Right now, you can find it on Instagram under Yeet_Davidson. That's primarily where I upload a lot of my photos of work that I'm doing. I used to have it on a bunch of different media platforms, but I'm finding that there's certain people who see that and they're like, oh, I'm gonna borrow his style and not give him credit for it. So I don't put it out there a lot, you know.
And could we buy some of your art?
Yes.
And where could we buy it?
Well, I am working on this website. I guess everyone's saying that. Oh, my website's coming up soon, but it's coming. So that is a place where you'll be able to find a lot of my work to look and to purchase. But right now, if you see anything you like on my Instagram, you just DM me and I'm like, hey, we can make it happen.
All right.
It's not a hard thing to do, but you know, it's not eBay, so people are probably like, yeah, how do I do that?
And what's your favorite thing to make?
My favorite thing to make?
Yeah.
People happy.
All right. Now let's talk about your dragon.
Okay, let's talk about the dragon.
What inspired you to make your dragon?
This particular dragon?
Or just in general, what inspired you to make dragons?
Like I said before, usually my interactions with people, coupled with the fascination of all things magical, things like that. But this particular dragon, I was inspired to create because I was feeling like, oh, I am failing as an artist, and I need to, up the game a little bit. So voila.
And are you inspired by the Lord of the Rings dragon sometimes?
Sometimes I can't say that's my chief inspiration. For some people, Lord of the Rings is like everything. For me, it was cute.
And who's your favorite dragon that you get inspired by?
Oh, that's easy. Drogon, Game of Thrones.
All right.
The only reason I stuck around for that last season, I wanted to see those babies get big and burn stuff.
All right. And thank you, Tariq Tamir, for coming on this edition of People in Perspective. That's all the time we have.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Eli.